Hello everyone, welcome to the series of control system lectures. I am Anshu and today I'll start with Introduction to Controllers. The automatic controller determines the value of controlled variable, compare the actual value to the desired value, that is the reference input, determines the deviation and produces a control signal that will reduce the deviation to 0 or to a smallest possible value. The method by which automatic controller produce the control signal is called as the mode of control or control action. The control action may operate through either mechanical, hydraulic, pneumatic, electromechanical means. The controllers can be electrical, hydraulical, pneumatic, electromechanical, or electronics type. The controller consists of an error detector and an amplifier. The measuring element is a device which converts the output variable to another suitable variable such as displacement, pressure, or electrical signals, which can be used for comparing the output to the reference input. The set point of a controller must be converted to the reference input of the same units as the feedback signal from the measurement element. Now, classic types of controllers we have two position on-off controllers, proportional controller, integral controllers, proportional plus integral controller, proportional plus derivative controller, proportional plus integral plus derivative controller. They can be also classified according to the power source used for actuating mechanisms such as electrical, electronics, pneumatic, and hydraulic controllers. The hydraulic controllers are used for controlling heavy loads. The pneumatic controllers are suitable for shop floor application. The selection of a particular type of controller depends upon the nature of the plant, the operating conditions such as safety, cost, availability, accuracy, weight, and size. Next, we have a two position or on off controller. The two position control is also known as on off control or bang control. This type of controller are simple and inexpensive and are generally employed on home heating system, domestic water heaters, and industrial control system. In this type of control, the output of the controller is quick and changed to either maximum or minimum value depending upon whether the control variable is greater or less than the set point, or in other words, depend upon the actuating error signal. The minimum value is usually 0 in this case. So, the block diagram of the two position control graph is shown. In the on-off controller, there is an overlap as the error detector increase through 0 and decrease through 0. This overlaps creates a span of error. During this span of error, there is no change in the controller output. This span of error is also known as dead zone or dead band. So, similarly, while decreasing, the error must be decreased beyond del E below 0 and change the controller output. Hence, during twice of del E, there is no change in controller output. This zone is known as differential gap. The differential gap can also be defined as the range through which the actuating error signal must be moved before switching occurs. In this type of controller, The control variable always oscillate with a frequency with which increase with decrease width of dead zone or differential gap. The decrease in dead zone, the number of on-off switching of controller increase, hence therefore the useful life of the component decrease. Hence the dead band should be designed to prevent the oscillations in on-off controller. The two position control mode are used in the room air conditioner, heaters, liquid level control in large volume tank. The example of this type of controller is a room heater. So if the temperature drops below the set point, an error signal is produced by the error detector. This error signal is energized the relay and the heater is on. Similarly, if the temperature increases above a set point, the heater is turned off. Next we have a proportional control, that is P control. In a proportional control with proportional control action, there is a continuous linear relationship between the output of the controller and the actuating error signal E. So mathematically, if Pt is equal to Kp E of t. So if we take Laplace, we can say Ps is equal to Kp Es, where Kp is the proportional gain or proportional sensitivity. Consider the liquid level system. In the system, the float lever is directly connected to the control valve. When the level of the liquid rise, the value flows to proportionate amount. This reduces the inflow to the vessel and vice versa. The inverse of proportional gain or proportional sensitivity is the proportional band and is defined as the change in the level necessary to operate the valve through full stroke. Basically, proportional controller is an amplifier with adjustable gain. Next is the integral control. In a controller which is integral control action, the output of the control is changed at a rate which is proportional to the actuating signal. That means d by dt of pt is equal to ki et. In this case, if ki is the constant relating error and rate, taking Laplace transform, we can say Sp is equal to Ki into Es, or Ps is equal to Ki by S into Es. That means that is the transfer function of integral controller. The inverse of Ki is also called as integral time Ti and is defined as the time of change of output caused by a unit change of actuating error signal. The step response of integral control is shown in the figure. It is clear that for positive error, the output of the controller is ramp positive. For zero error, there is no change in output of the controller. For negative error, output of the controller in the negative ramp. Therefore, the integral control action is also called as reset control. Next is the derivative control action or derivative controller. In a derivative controller with derivative control, the output of the controller on the rate of change of actuating error signal et is given as pt is equal to kd d by dt of et. That means if kt is the derivative gain constant, then we have ps as k of d s of es. ms by es is equal to ks of k of t. So it is clear that when the error is 0 or constant, the output of the controller will be 0. Therefore, this type of controller cannot be used alone. For this type of controller, the gain should be small. The derivative control action, also known as rate control. Next is proportional plus derivative controller. In proportional plus derivative controller, when a derivative control action is added in series with proportional control action, then this combination is termed as proportional derivative proportional derivative controller. So in this case, Pt is given as Kp Et plus Kp Td d by dt of K, Kp Kd d by d e et by dt plus p naught. That means Ps is equal to Kp plus K, Kp Kd s into E of s, where Kd is the derivative time. The derivative time is defined as the time interval by which the rate action advances the effect of proportional control action, or in other words, the derivative time is defined as the amount of lead expressed in units of time that the control action is given. If the actuating error signal Et is a ramp function, then at t equal to t1, the derivative mode cause a step mt at t1, and proportional mode causes a rise of mp equal to md at t2. This is for direct action PT control. Next is a difference between open loop and closed loop control system. Next is proportional integral control. In proportional integral control, the combination of proportional integral and derivative proportional integral controller. So it's the combination of proportional integral control. Mathematically, it can be represented as mt is equal to kp et kp ki 0 to t et. So in this case, your ps will finally be equal to kp into ki into s plus kp into kd into s. That means kp divided by s square plus kd plus s plus ki. Both the kp and ki are adjustable, and ti is the time integral. The inverse of the time integral is called as reset rate. The reset rate is defined as the number of times per minute that the proportional part of response is duplicate. Therefore, reset rate is also net repeats per time. Next is a proportional integral and derivative controller. The combination of PID controller is known as proportional integral derivative controller, and the controller is the three action controller. In this final, your PS is given as Kp Et plus Kp 1 upon Ti 0 to T Et dt plus Kp Td d by dt of Et. So in this case, we can say the proportional part of the control action repeats the change of error to lowest straight line. The derivative part of the control action add increment of the output, so the proportional plus derivative action is shifted ahead in the middle straight line. The integral part adds a further increment of output proportional to the area under the deviation. The combination of the proportional integral and derivative action may be made in the sequence. So thank you for today.